Before I dive in too deep on my experience at Moneymaker Social and Louisville in general, I want to give a couple people a special shout out. Dylan's a manager at Moneymaker Social, and he was the first person I talked to when I got there, which is a very similar experience to everybody who walks into Moneymaker Social. He makes sure everybody gets situated appropriately and has the experience that they're looking for at Moneymakers. He's absolutely the right person for the job, and every card room should have a person like him. Jason is a dealer who works part-time at Moneymakers. He was nice enough to sit down with me after his shift was done Friday night, gave me a short interview for about 7 minutes, and then spent about another 45 minutes talking to me after the cameras were off. He exemplifies what all the dealers are like there as far as being extremely personable, willing to chat, and make sure all the clientels are having a phenomenal time while they're playing and enjoying their evenings there. And May was another dealer who, from the first moment that I met her, was cracking jokes and just made my experience that much better at the social club. Not only was she a high quality dealer as far as making sure the games ran smooth while she was working, but even on her breaks, you could see her helping out other dealers shut down games, or the staff in the kitchen area, making sure everything was running smoothly and everybody was caught up. And that type of work ethic was prevalent throughout the staff. And we will talk about that later on. I arrived on Friday night, which happens to be their busiest night of the week. After talking with Dylan and getting situated, I jumped into a PLO game, which has a curated list of regulars who showed up, but they had some open seats, so I ended up jumping into one of those. Their PLO game is a 1K cap that matches step afterwards, and instead of doing traditional small and big blinds, they do $10 on the button, and then you can straddle from that point on, and all straddles are live. So the game plays pretty big for a 1K cap game. Played that until their 7 p.m. tournament. Their tournament filled the rest of the room that wasn't full of cash games. So there was about 8 tournament tables and 4 cash games going by 7 p.m. And like I said, by their standards, it was slow because they didn't have much of an alternate list once all the tables were full. Usually they basically are taping people to the ceilings to get everybody in the room. I ran fairly deep in the tournament, but didn't cash. After the tournament was done, just jumped back into 1-3 no limit hold'em for a few hours until talking to Jason and asking him about what he thought of the Kentucky tournaments or Kentucky players scene compared to the rest of the poker scene that he's seen, and you'll see his answer here.
In my opinion, it's pretty stable. Okay. So I've played several places in the country. Played Cincinnati a lot since we're a couple of hours away. There's a poker room in Indianapolis. When I'm in Indianapolis, I'll stop by there. Mm-hmm. Evansville. So we've got a few that are spread within a couple of hours of this area. Played in New York when we were up in New York. I've played out in Vegas. Mm-hmm. I actually find that this area is more difficult than the other areas that I've played at. So I think that there's good skill level in the area. I'd probably say overall scene, I'd say the poker scene is stable. Okay. I'd love to see it being growing, but I think it's more stable than growing.
I came back on Saturday. Before going to Moneymakers, I ate at a restaurant called Eden and Kisses. It's a Caribbean restaurant, and it was fabulous. If anybody's ever in Louisville, I highly recommend going there. The best chicken. I absolutely adored the sides I had as well. I'm a big collard greens fan, and it's the best collard greens I've had from any restaurant that I've been to. Actually went there a second time before leaving town. definitely recommend it if you're ever in Louisville. Once I got to Moneymakers, played PLO in the once I first got there, and then jumped into their 7 p.m. bounty tournament. One thing I started to learn that was different there than from the East Coast is I'm accustomed to East Coast players when they get to a certain age becoming much more nitty, more passive, and uh, fulfilling that old man coffee um, kind of vibe. That is definitely not what happens in Kentucky. The older gentlemen and women play just as aggressive and just as wild as any 20 something you'll ever find. So by Saturday, I started to adjust my image of people as I was seeing them. Afterwards, played their half PLO, half no limit hold'em game. Since PLO is involved, they structure it the same. It's a match and stack game, 1,000 cap. 5 on the button for hold'em, 10 on the button for PLO, and again, the straddles are live all the way around the table. It's the biggest game that they'll have in the room, and it played very big and very late on Saturday night. I think we went until about 3 a.m. and donated a decent amount of money to that game that night. Sunday they were closed, so I went across the river over to Indiana, about 45 minutes away from where I was staying. There's a Caesars over in Elizabeth. It's the poker room over there is middle in size. It's about 20 tables or so, but they only had probably about 3 or 4 1-3 cash games going until their tournament kicked off at 3 o'clock. So played cash till I played in the tournament. Nothing bad to say, but nothing great either. It's your traditional casino card room, traditional casino experience that you'll find at a Caesars property. Just I much prefer social clubs than I do casinos. You'll At casinos, I feel like you're treated like a number. Nothing too special to be said there. At a social club, I feel like poker is obviously going to be front and center, and the experience is always going to be much better. Rounding out Monday and Tuesday while I was at Moneymakers, more of the same. Monday, play PLO in the morning or in the early evening, we'll put it that way, until the tournament kicked off. Got to talk to a local vlogger by the name of Jesse Martin. I'll put his link to his YouTube channel at the bottom. And it was the second time I saw him while I was staying there and chatted with him a bit. He's in the midst of a 10K bankroll challenge, and last I checked, he was up to 6,500 on his way to his 10K goal. Nice kid. He's a local accountant in his early 20s. And he seems like a pretty decent player. So definitely check him out and leave him a comment and support him. It's nice to see newer faces and creative space. Also played with a gentleman behind pokerjams.com. He's a guy who creates music centered around poker themes, and chatted with him for a bit in the tournament area. Again, I'll leave a link to his site below. He has stuff on YouTube and Instagram and whatnot. So check out his music and feel free to leave him a comment. Tuesday, there ended up not being a PLO game to start the night, so I ended up just chatting with different people around the room since cash game didn't kick off. And then jumped into the tournament and played some cash in the night before, chatting with May, and mostly talked about how the staff supports each other and how the vibe of the room, which you'll see clipped in here. Small knit group of employees working together. I also notice a difference with the social club versus casinos you guys tend to take on more roles than just pitching cards. I see that you're
Yes.
running to the back of the kitchen. Multiple people here are doing that, which also probably lends to more of the family atmosphere where it's everybody's pitching in to
Help
make
out.
sure the
Yep.
ship floats and stays steered in the right direction.
I think that's why we get so excited to come into work, because let's say I'm on break and I have like 15 minutes left till I push someone else. If I see someone's table broke or something, I'll try to help them out, gather their chips, fix the tables and the chairs,
Yep.
and just make sure that they have a smooth transition into their break or to another table.
Yes.
The players are also like, not all of them, but
No.
can't like everybody, right?
No. But to be honest, my impression, which is very small, granted, it's only been 4 nights, the players here are much friendlier, and I don't know if that's Kentucky in general or just the social club.
The environment.
They are much friendlier. They joke around a lot.
Yes.
It's that brotherly and sisterly atmosphere of we
Yes.
are allowed to pick on each other, but if somebody came in and did something to them,
it's on.
we would be the first ones to fight for them.
Yes. That's what I love about the social club. Like, I wish this was around when I was 18, you know? I mean, I'm 33 now, so.
Yeah. And I've gone through the social club, a social club up in Ohio, and I've gone down into Austin and played at the Lodge before, and I've taken note of how different those atmospheres are versus playing at casinos.
I will say, like, the atmosphere in here is a lot more comfortable. Players will let you know that, and I'm sure you kind of experience a little bit of that yourself.
Yeah.
In comparison to the boat, to where it's just most of everyone's quiet and it's all serious. Like here, you know, what you got? They'll mess around and it's like, oh, I'm about to take all your chips, and it'd be a funny thing, not an insult.
Yep. No, it's been a very good experience here, and
I'm glad.
I'm looking forward to it, and I hope to be back at some point in time.
We would love to have you back, I'm sure.
So
And your money. I'm
yes. Oh, I've sprinkled my fair share of my money around here. I'm sure that's part of the reason why people would. Overall, my experience at the room was very good. The game levels play a little small for the most part, unless you're willing to play some PLO. Then, as always, PLO plays large. The atmosphere is phenomenal. People are very down to earth when you're talking about Kentucky, or even when you go over to Indiana. Had very few issues fitting in. Very few issues as far as people getting ruckus or just having problems with each other. I believe part of that also stems from the fact that there is no liquor on site, which helps, and I think that actually improves the vibe some. Granted, I'm sure people have their flasks and beer out in their truck and go get a drink here and there, but not having it served in the premises does keep people in a better overall mood, and keeps the rattiness calmer, even when you get to 2, 3 a.m. in the morning. Oftentimes when you're in a casino at that hour, the clientele vibe deteriorates quickly. They do serve food on site. I did eat there almost daily just to try to sample different stuff. The food quality was always really good. Most of their food is priced between $10 to $15 for stuff that you would find at a bar. You're talking like chicken fingers, subs, burgers, that type of stuff. But you're getting good sized portions, and the samplings I had were always excellently cooked. So I have no issues with the food that I had there. I've seen stuff you get at the casino cost a lot more, and the quality be a lot less. And they on Fridays they had a special that I did not end up partaking of, but everybody who did raved of it. So they definitely have something very good going on there. It's just a matter of that area needing to get a little bit bigger as far as the poker scene goes for the room itself to get bigger. So all in all, very good experience. If you're in Louisville, definitely go and check them out. You'll have a good time, by all means, because people there do enjoy their poker and they do splash it up. So it's not like you're going to be sitting back looking for 5% of hands to play with. These people want to play and they want to have some fun. So definitely go and check them out.